Cables. All right, cables 101. So basically a cable is a long string that has wires in it, and with those wires it carries sound. So it carries sound from a source, like an output, and it'll go into something that either amplifies or manipulates the sound, otherwise known as an input. So going from the output of guitar into an amplifier, or going from your MIDI keyboard into a computer. For live sound, there's a couple of cables that you need to know about. One of them is the 1/4 inch. Looks like this, otherwise known as an instrument cable, and this will plug in from your guitar into an amplifier. The next you'll see is an XLR cable. Typically this is for microphones. Looks like this, has this really big end on it, and it has two different ends. So you have the female end and you have the male end, and you can see the difference here. So one has a place where things go in and one has a place where things go out. So when you're hooking in a microphone, you'll see that it needs to, there's little prongs that come out and needs to go into something. So this will go into the female end and it'll click into place. There. Next thing we have is auxiliary cables, which most of you probably know about already, because that's how you connect your phone to your car or your phone to a set of speakers. Typically looks like this. It almost looks like a instrument cable, except smaller. And then you also have your VGA cables. This is typically for videos and things like that. And it has 3 different ends. And yellow is for the visual part, and then the red and white is for the audio part. So sometimes if you're working with just audio, you'll only see the red and white. Sometimes you only have one type of cable and need to go to a certain type of input or a certain type of output, and you don't have that other type of cable. So to fix that, we have different types of adapters. So you can either get long cable adapters or short little tiny ones that you just put on the end of your cable. So we have this adapter, and it goes from a headphone jack like this into an amplifier or something like that. So I can go into this. All right, and then you also have your instrument cable into a headphone jack. So you can go from this type of cable into a headphone input, like that. And then sometimes you need to go from your phone into a microphone or your phone into an aux cable. So we have these adapters. So this is a lightning adapter going into a headphone jack. If you have, the older headphones, this is great. And then you also have lightning going into USB. This is great if you're trying to plug in a USB microphone with your iPad. I do this often. And then sometimes you also just need to extend things, like maybe your headphones don't reach as far as it needs to go, or maybe you need you have 2 headphones that you want to go into one source. So we have this adapter, and you can extend your headphones super long. This splitter right here, so you can put 2 different types of headphones into one jack. And then there's also actual cables that have 2 different types of ends. So this cable has a 1/4 inch end, and it also has a headphone jack end. So I can hook from my phone into this. All right, and now for computers, we have different USB connections. If you're trying to plug in a MIDI keyboard, you want to get a MIDI USB cable. So one end is USB, goes in your computer. This other end is MIDI and will plug into your keyboard or your microphone, as long as it's USB microphone, and whatever MIDI device that takes this type of output. And then sometimes you run into the problem where you have just way too many USB devices and you don't have enough ports on your laptop or your computer. And so you'll need to get a USB hub. And so basically what this is this end plugs into your computer, and this end has a bunch of different ports so you can plug in 4 different USB items. Really useful, not just for instruments, but for any other sort of computer thing. So when you're buying cables, it's important to be mindful of what your output is and what your input is, so that you don't buy the wrong type of cable, or if you need to get an adapter, you get the right type of adapter.